If you also want to start your own business or startup, then Rework will strengthen your business knowledge and help clear up many of your misconceptions. The international best-selling book Rework is co-authored by Jason Fried and David Hanson. In it, they have shared their business experiences and knowledge in very simple language. And in this video, I will discuss the summary of Rework, important concepts and business lessons. So, let's get started. Number 1. Learning from mistakes is overrated. In business, we are mostly advised that we should learn from our failures. But the authors of Rework challenge this concept and say that while we can learn from our failures what not to do next time, we cannot learn what we should do. That's why instead of focusing too much on our failures, we should learn from our successes. Because when we learn from our successes, we repeat the activities that led us to achieve success, and those activities help us become successful again. Studies show that if you become successful in a business, your chances of success in the next business are 34%. But if you fail, then these chances drop to only 23%. That's why you shouldn't focus too much on the reasons why you failed, but rather on the reasons why you succeeded. Number 2. Planning is guessing. These days, it's quite common for new businessmen and entrepreneurs to set their long-term goals very quickly. To achieve this goal, they create a strategy for everything, from budget to customers and competitors. But when the economy and market conditions worsen, none of their strategies work, and in the end, their business is badly affected. That's why it's very important that instead of long-term planning, you set short-term goals and achieve them. Here, I don't mean that you shouldn't think about the future of your business at all or ignore upcoming problems. But don't make any long-term plan and follow it blindly, especially if it has nothing to do with your experience. It's based solely and entirely on your guesses. Number 3. Workaholism. Workaholism means when a person works extremely hard for their goals and sometimes even ignores their health. Since childhood, we've also heard advice from our parents and teachers to work hard. They believe that working hard is essential for success. But this is just a belief that has no real connection to reality. In today's technology-driven world, your growth doesn't depend on how many hours you work, but rather on how smartly and efficiently you use those hours and how you work. The biggest problem for a workaholic is that they take on too much work, and this has a negative effect on the quality and productivity of their work. That's why, to avoid workaholism, you need to know how to properly manage your routine. Number 4. Scratch your own itch. One problem that almost every new entrepreneur faces, and you probably do too, is deciding which product or service to build for customers. Friends, just for guidance on this topic, courses worth thousands of rupees are being sold in the business world, and most of them say that we should create a product that solves people's daily problems. But the author believes exactly the opposite, that you should build a product that solves your own problem. For example, suppose you are looking for a mobile app that can guide you in both exercise and dieting for your daily workouts. But even after searching a lot, if you still can't find such an app, you can solve this problem yourself by developing an app like this and then reach other customers through marketing. However, for this, it's important that you have good knowledge of that field. Number 5. No time is no excuse. No time, I'm busy, or I have to go out for dinner tonight. If you also keep postponing implementing your business idea by making such excuses, it proves that you're not serious about your business. Whether you have a job or are self-employed, you always have enough time that you can use to set up and manage a business, and for this, you don't even need to quit your regular job. If you want, you can work on your business idea for a few hours at night or during the day. It's absolutely not the case that investing 2 to 3 hours daily will turn you into a workaholic. In fact, on the contrary, after working consistently for a few days, you'll find out whether that particular business is suitable for you or not. That's why you'll have to carve out time from your daily schedule to implement it, because situations are never going to change completely according to your convenience. Number 6. You need less than you think. A lot of entrepreneurs have the misconception that to run a successful business, they need an office from day one, have to hire employees, or spend on big budget advertising. But in reality, you can start a sustainable business even with limited resources. Maybe after a few months of running your business, you'll need more resources and employees, but at least for now, you can manage it on your own, whether it's making the product or interacting with customers. As a company, if you keep your expenses to a minimum, it will benefit you in other aspects of the business. Number 7, build a business, not a startup. People have this misconception that they can't make a profit from day one in a business. But this is a wrong mindset that the new startup culture has given us. Basically, these people think that in the beginning of a business, they should just focus on investing without worrying about profit, and that profit will come to them in the future. In this way, they keep postponing their profits to the future. But when you establish a business, your motive should be that your product reaches as many people as possible and, by satisfying them, generates an ideal profit. Number 8. Interruption is the enemy of productivity. Today, in every field, people want to increase their productivity because the more productive you become, the more you grow. But when you talk about increasing productivity, you should know what causes your productivity to decrease, and that is interruption. Whenever we do any work, there are many things that shift our focus, like phone calls, sales notifications, getting into an argument, or unintentionally getting caught up in a conversation, and so on. Simply put, anything that breaks your focus before you finish your work is an interruption. One way to avoid interruptions is to set a fixed time for your important tasks and turn off phone notifications and calls during that time. The second way is to try to do your work alone if possible. You can choose early morning or late night for this because during these times there are hardly any disturbances. If you make this a habit, you'll be able to concentrate on your work for longer periods and feel more productive than before. Number 9. Don't be a hero. Often, we end up spending more time than necessary to complete certain tasks, even though those tasks could have been finished in comparatively less time. There are 2 reasons behind this. First, the task doesn't suit you, but you want to complete it by putting in extra effort, no matter how much time it takes. The second reason is that you're not doing the task with concentration and you get distracted. For this, you need to remove your distractions so that you can concentrate on your work. But even then, if you still can't concentrate on it, then maybe that task isn't meant for you. Most importantly, you shouldn't waste your precious time on something just to show yourself as superior or a hero, especially if it takes up 4 times more of your time. Number 10, do it yourself first. The author of Rework says that after starting your business, don't hire employees right away. Instead, try doing those tasks yourself first. This way, you'll gain experience in that work and also understand exactly what kind of person would be perfect to hire for that job. But if you can't manage everything by yourself, then you can hire someone. Actually, this is the right time to hire because you are no longer capable of handling the business alone and you need an extra employee to manage the workload. An ideal businessman is one who hires the minimum number of employees in his business and produces the maximum output. For example, Jason Fried, the author of Rework, runs his billion-dollar company Basecamp with the help of fewer than 100 employees, and you too can build a successful business with a minimum number of employees. That's why you should definitely consider these things before hiring. Number 11, go to sleep. As you gain more experience, running a business doesn't remain as difficult as finding enough time for your own health does. Your own health should be even more important to you than your business. And a non-negotiable factor for good health is sleep. According to studies, people who do not get enough sleep are unable to keep their mind and body energetic. Not getting enough sleep negatively affects our creativity, productivity, and emotions as well. That's why it's very important that you do not compromise at all on your sleep time. So guys, these were the most important concepts and life lessons from the bestseller book Rework by successful businessmen Jason Fried and David Hanson. You will find the link to this book in the video description. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video with more book summaries and life lessons like this. Thanks for watching.